Paul McGuire Grimes, KSTP Minneapolis, St. Paul. Sarah and Paul, it was really great talking to both of you today. I've really enjoyed the Kominsky method, so thank you so much for all the good laughs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, now Sarah, the show is created by Chuck Lorre, who's done so many like successful sitcoms like Mom and Big Bang Theory. What is it about him for you as an actor that has made him and his shows so successful?
You know, he's like a wellspring of ideas. He doesn't ever seem to run out of ideas for shows. And you know, with our show, I think he liked getting to do something that was so different. You know, he got to get away from, you know, the sitcom format is pretty, it relies on sort of a formula a little bit more. There's a lot more jokes per minute. And with our show, he was able to explore the more dramatic side of life and still keep the comedy in there. And, you know, it's just a totally different format. No audience. You can play even with the time a little bit. If he wanted to do a 33-minute episode, he could. So I think he had fun stretching himself even further.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, Paul, there's a scene in episode 5 where you and the rest of the cast are watching your movie Diner, and we see you in it. Now, whose meta idea was that, and how did you feel kind of looking back at that film?
It's all Chuck Lorre's. Everything's Chuck Lorre's idea. You know, it was really, it was sort of surreal. And then even, you know, the extra added thing, Diner was my very, very first job ever. And, you know, because I happened to stumble into Barry Levinson's office one day by accident, and then cut to now 40 years later, and Levinson is playing himself as the director of the movie that Michael Douglas is going to be in, and I'm there, and it was just my mind going, I can't even sew this together. It was just sort of confusing. But you know, I look about 7 years old in the clip. I know, like, wow. So it's not even like, well, they look the same person. No, they don't.
Oh my God. Now, it's one of the things I love about the show, just like how much about the industry that is. And because I love Hollywood and the film industry and TV, like I just love all that kind of inside stuff that he very much pulls from, and all the cameos that are in the show I've loved. Now, Sarah, Michael Douglas, or both of you really, he plays this acting teacher. So I'm kind of curious, who are the actors and the comedians that you both have looked up to and have learned from over the years?
Oh, wow. I mean, a lot. I think early on in life, I loved Lucille Ball. I don't know that there's anything about me that's anything like Lucille Ball, but she was somebody I looked up to. And then for me, you know, pretty much every woman that was ever on SNL, I loved comedically. You know, Meryl Streep is kind of good, I guess. Yes, so many people.
Yeah.
You know, as a kid, the only two actors that ever popped the screen for me that I kind of just thought, what are they doing? That's so great. Were Alan Arkin and Peter Falk. And I've been lucky enough to get to work with both of them, Alan, on this show. And I think my inspirations were more about comics, watching Robert Klein and George Carlin and you know, and Bill Cosby and Woody Allen, and heading down a list of people in legal.
I know, geez.
Yeah.
There was a great
Harvey Oswald,
Charles Manson.
Yeah, you know, it's like I always make a point. It's like, you know, can you say either of those names and people remember, at least pick it apart and go, well, there was some good work. No, it's hard. But it was much more comics that inspired me, because I could see that path a little bit. It's like, oh, you can go to a comedy club and then you kind of somehow work your way up that chain. Whereas acting is like, well, how do you get on that screen? I don't see how that happens. Right. It seems impossible. And why would you want to try?
I've loved our conversation. I got the rap signal. It's been great. Congratulations on the success of the show. It's been fun to watch. So thank you.
Al Capone also.
This weekend, I just got back from Minneapolis.
Oh, what were you doing here?
All my family is there. I had to go to a memorial service, sadly, but yeah, all my family is there.
I mean, sorry for the memorial service. Yeah. Sorry about that, but awesome that your family's here.
Yeah, I was in Maple.